Yeah, he comes like a Friday. Yeah, you can go
On Fridays.
Yeah, on Friday. Okay.
We made it in Thailand and we ship it here
สวัสดีจ้ะ
last year.
It looks like golden.
Yes, the real gold that's outside, they apply with gold leaf. The 100% gold, but they make very thin and apply on the
So you
middle.
just gold coating or plating?
Yes, gold plating.
I have a question.
Yes.
You told that Buddhism starts from India?
Yes, start from Bodh Gaya, where Buddha enlightenment.
But he was born in Nepal and we believe that it is
Oh, okay. He born,
Yeah.
there are two meanings of born.
Okay.
Siddhartha, okay, the
Siddhartha.
baby born in the land of Nepal nowadays. But in the ancient time they call Chomputipa, means the subcontinental, not the separate between India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, no. Only one piece of land from Himalayan to ocean. So Siddhartha prince was born in the land of Nepal. But the Buddha, he became Buddha after he get enlightenment when he was 29 years old. 29 years old, he renounced the world to become ascetic, to become a monk. And then he reached enlightenment when he was 35 years old, under the Bodhi tree. So now they're in the Bihar state in India. So in ancient time they call Magadha kingdom, over there. So Buddhism start from there, from when the Buddha get enlightenment, and then he decided to spread his teaching, and then he came from Bodh Gaya to Sarnath, Varanasi, where he gave the first sermon in the deer park that they call the Saranath nowadays. So he gave the first sutra called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Dhammacak means that the emotion of the Dhamma start from there. So in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, talking about two things: to extreme left and right that people practice. The people they, at those times or even nowadays they practice. One extreme left means self-torture, self-modification, looking inside, and they try to overcome greed, hatred, and delusion, but by make bodies very tough. But it's not thing that to reach the nirvana would already done before. 6 years, so he done everything like that. So that's the Attakilamatthanuyoga or self-modification. And another one is sensual pressure induced. Means that you use your ears, eyes, nose, tongue, body, mixed with the sound, the luxurious life. That thing also. Buddha himself, he was a prince before. He practiced before, but it's not the end of the supreme happiness. So he combined to the middle, that we call the middle way, the eightfold path, the eightfold middle path. That means Majjhima Patipata, means the middle way, not to practice in extreme left or extreme right, but have to go to the balance. In our life have to be balanced. Yeah, have to be balanced. So sometimes we practice like to extreme to something, and then make your life hard, difficult to solve the problem. Yeah, the life should be adjust, should be make it equal, make it neutral. Sometimes if we go to extreme up, also not good. Extreme down, also not good. Have to be in the middle. So that's why middle way is the best way to practice to walk.
So how can we know that we are doing middle way?
Okay. You yourself, you know yourself, but sometimes, okay, of course, we follow the kilesa, okay. In Pali we call kilesa, or by English that mental defilements. For instance, laziness. Like, okay, when the winter time, you sleep on the luxurious bed, right? You have the covers very warm inside. You don't want to get up from the bed. But the times come, you have to go to school. Yeah. If you follow your emotion at that time, you don't want to go to school. You want to sleep because it's comfortable. But because of the duty, because of the, you have to respond for your duty. You have to go to school. So you have to overcome the laziness and then wake up on time. Even it's a very cold weather, right? So something like that. If you follow your emotion take over by greedy, hatred, and delusion, as I mentioned. So three things, they are the make your mind down, make your life down. So sometimes you have to live it up. You make it's like a dam to block the stream, because our mind is like a stream, go down. This is the nature of like a water to go down. So they have to live it up. So sometimes you have to make your mind strong, be confident to do something. So if your mind not trained well, because I mentioned that the purpose of meditation or to train the mind to improve, to increase the mind, to develop the mind. The normal mind, as I mentioned, okay, if you have the laziness take over you, so you sleep all day. You can sleep all day, but you not go to work or go to school. That means you follow the laziness at that time. So this is the normal mind. Normal people do like this. But Buddha found that you have to train your mind by practice meditation, know yourselves, and trying to develop the mind from the normal mind to the noble mind. Now we are the normal. I and you sometimes the same. Yeah. But I try to develop. I try to practice meditation. Even sometimes sitting meditation is very, very difficult to sustain, to stay for a long time. But I have to be patient. Be patient. Yeah, and then get the good result. Yes?
Could you please repeat these three things that make your mind worse?
You mean that?
Upper was anger.
Yeah. Greed, anger, and delusion.
Delusion.
Yes.
I'm not sure what that means.
Delusion is a very difficult to explain, but and also when we practice moha or deluded mind, it's very difficult to identify what is what. But in Dhamma practice, when you practice, you have to set your mind in neutral, not to go to extreme, left or right. But sometimes, okay, you sit very comfortable, very good at that moment, at that feeling. But Ajahn or the teacher said that, okay, you don't attach to that kind of feeling. See, because of sitting is better than walking. We use full posture of practice meditation. Sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. So when you sit, you sit very good, very comfortable. But Ajahn will hit the gong, and then you have to wake up and walk. But in your mind, you don't like to walk. You sit is better, but it's not balance, so imbalance at that moment. So to make it balance, because of if you attach to that kind of feeling, again, you have to understand the four characteristics of existence. Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Anicca means impermanence. Everything is impermanent. Even your emotion, even your feeling. You sit very good right now, here and now, very good. But next moment, what happens? It's change. Change too. Sometimes you get pain, sometimes you get numbness, sometimes you're not comfortable with your body. So to understand that, you must understand this is the situation of impermanence. If you understand and then you follow impermanence, okay, you accept and let go, and then you change the position. Okay, so your mind sometimes experience good or bad. Don't frustrate it when you get a bad situation or something, because waiting for the good one for the next moment. This is the law of impermanence. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I didn't get a chance to talk with the students downstairs about this,
Yeah.
but I want to ask you. In the last several months in America, there has been a political change,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not asking you to make a political statement,
Okay.
but there has been, if you students, if you're even, I think even on social media, you should be able to be getting much information. There's hatred and discrimination towards mainly minority groups, people who are different. And I think there have been many statements that have been made by the president that they disturb my heart.
Mm-hmm.
They cause me sadness that there are so many Americans that support him. What can you say about how, because I want to keep my mind and my heart safe
Yeah.
when I encounter this
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Okay.
And there is so much, I have never seen so much hate in my country.
Uh-huh.
And it causes me great pain.
Okay. In Buddhism, we look at every situation, as the Buddha said, dukkha or problem. There are two kinds of problems. Problem in our life, personality, personal thing, that's a problem also. Problem outside means society. Start from the one next to you, your wife, your husband, your kid, your colleagues, your community. So around us, full of suffering or problems. See? So how to deal with that? That's why Buddha advised us to look within, look to the mind first, to react with that situation. So we cannot change outside world except we change inside world. Inside world means that in our life, the Buddha concerned only nama and rupa, mind and body. So keep your mind how to maintain your mind neutral, to look in the situation. Not we ignore or not we just, not react with the society. But if we cannot change outside, we have to change inside. Change inside means how to adjust your mind from the lower and then up your mind, lift up your mind to the neutral. Okay, look the society. Me too. Sometimes I feel uncomfortable with government of Thailand nowadays. As you see in the news, everything from social media, from many sources that we can get information. It's not right. They act like that in our society, especially in Buddhist country. But we cannot do that because they have power in their hand. They have power in their hand to do what they want to do as the greedy mind, angry mind, and deluded mind. I can say that, okay, whatever you are the high in the position, but if your mind is still dirty with greed, hatred, and delusion, you can do stupid things. Even you are very high position. I can say like that. This is in Buddhism. We can say like this because everybody is equal with greed, hatred, and delusion. Whatever you are American, I am Thai, I am monk, you are lay person. But we are the same. This is the common thing that everybody faces.
My root teacher is Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yeah.
And many years ago, I can remember that he wrote a poem, and he said that this was when the Vietnamese boat people, and so many of them were drowning, so many of them, as they tried to escape Vietnam, were being attacked. And in his poem, he said, "I am the sea pirate." So Buddhism, when we talk about being one, that we are all the same. We are all one. And when I sit and I think and I say to myself, I and Donald Trump are one.
Are you sure?
And I say I and Pia are one, it makes me happy.
Yes.
When I say I and Donald Trump are one,
Love.
it makes me want to scream that.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to share my opinion and my experience with you about the president, because I think most of us, we can say that we like Hillary. This is the truth. But she lost in the election, and that is the truth. But at first I upset a little bit, and it takes time to hear that, and what I do, the second thing that I do, I try to withdraw from the news, because if you consume too much, it makes you sad and upset. But the great thing for this country, I think we have a good constitution. I think that is the good thing. And I still believe in the power of people here, because there are many friends that they upset even Buddhist people, American Buddhist friends. He talked about this and he upset and he got angry what to do, and sometimes they message me, they text me how to do. I said, oh, we have to agree that people vote for him and let him do his work. But besides that, I think one of the things, if he did something wrong, we can do like Mahatma Gandhi, the first one we call ahimsa, we call non-violence, and besides that we call another thing is disobedience. If something not right, you can stand up against him. You show your voice. I think that we can do as the constitution or as the law allow you to do. And that's the thing I do. And more than that, what I think we can do is give him loving kindness. maybe every after meditation and chanting, spread loving kindness.
Okay, I want to add on when Daniel said about Donald Trump and ISR1. It's not work because your mind is not empty for him. So back to look within, between loving kindness and compassion, the law of thing, like water in the bottom, you have a half, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, if you want to have more water, you have to add to half and then you get full. Now, in your mind, you think about Donald Trump, your mind is not empty room for Donald Trump. That's why you cannot give him the loving kindness and compassion. First, you look at your mind that is empty or not right now. Not empty. So back to yourself. Do with loving kindness and compassion. How to cultivate loving kindness and compassion in the mind first, and then we can spread loving kindness. So if you say loving kindness to Donald Trump or Donald Trump and ISR1, not work because only your lip, not your heart. So spread loving kindness have to be by heart. That's all. This is the foreigner of all action. Yeah. So my training, yes. Okay.
It's gonna change the topic.
Yeah. All right. No problem. Any topic. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to know what you all's perspective or view is on reincarnation.
Reincarnation. Good. Good question. So you have to understand two words. We're talking about reincarnation and rebirth. Okay, you may read about the books from Mahayana tradition or Tibetan Vajrayana tradition. We're talking a lot about reincarnation. Reincarnation in the meaning of Vajrayana means that they die from this life, okay, when the human being or the man die from this life and reborn in the human form. That's a reincarnation, like a Dalai Lama. And now his life is 14, Dalai Lama 14. So he died and reborn again and again 14 times.
So you only reincarnate?
They call that reincarnation, means that you return as a human form.
So you're a human, you only
But
return.
in the point of view of Theravada, we are Theravada tradition, we believe in rebirth. Rebirth means that you return to this world, okay? When you die, then you have to reborn. Whatever you have previous karma, sometimes you reborn in human form, sometimes you reborn in animal form. Sometimes you reborn in lower realm, like insects or some species, some small, or even you go up to the Deva, to heaven, something like that. So this is the concept of rebirth. And explain to practical way. Rebirth means that we are rebirth in every moment. Because even you're thinking in moment. This moment and then stop and then reborn again. So that's one we call samsara. Reborn in the circle again and again. Because the people have kilesa, mean mental defilement, as I mentioned, 3 things. But normally there are 1,000 of mental defilements. But the main thing, like greed, hatred, and delusion, 3 things. Because we deluded the mind. Avijja Paccaya Sankhara in Paticca Samuppada, in the independent origination. Avijja, because we don't know, but we act. See? When you act, you got to the reaction. That's the main result. See? So when it's a get result, and then it's a turn to your reaction, your emotion, right? Suppose you see the flower. You see the rose, the red one, very beautiful, but now it's not beautiful because it gets decayed. See? This is the law of impermanence. 2-3 days ago, it's very beautiful when they got from the market. Now it's fade away because it is the law of impermanence. When you see the beautiful lily here, very beautiful. So you react in your mind. Or you may think that if you have your boyfriend, you think to your boyfriend, or if I give this to him, he will love me. Or you think in the positive way, oh, I want to give this to my parents, to my teacher, or even the Buddhist people, they think about the Buddha. See? Oh, I got a very beautiful flower, I will offer to the Buddha to get the merit. See? Even one thing you see, only the one flower, but so have many things in your mind. It is a reborn again and again in your mind. And the reaction by your do thing, by your act. When you action, this is the karma. And then you have result. Turn back, go like this, and like this. That's what we call samsara. Again and again. And then we die and reborn again, and do things. Do good and do bad, do good and do bad in your life. Do good by word, do good by thinking, do good by action. 3 things to make good and bad in our life. That I just explained about kayakam is a bodily action, manokam is a mental action, and vachikam is a verbal action. You talk good, you get good. You talk bad, you get bad. Right now, this is the Buddhism talking about. So the cause and effect. And the educational system is not belief system in Buddhism. So I can give you a definition of what is Buddhism, how to start. You start to learn, you start to study. Study from yourself, start from inside and go outside later on. It shows to outside later on, but you have to look within, look inside. Look at your mind and your body. The body as a house. Your mind as the owner of the house. When your body is decayed, and then you die, but your mind or your life is not end with the death. No, have to go beyond. Go again. That's when we believe in the reincarnation and rebirth. So come to another condition and then reborn again. This is the system of karma, law of karma, law of action, law of 3 characteristics of existence, or anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Yes.
Why don't you get married?
Huh?
Why monks don't get married?
Because of rule and regulation, Buddha said, okay, level of his disciple. One is a Bhikkhu, means the female monk. The Bhikkhuni, male monk, female monk. Lay female, and layman. The 4 categories. But if you want to liberate yourself close to the path that we call nirvana or nibbana, the final goal of Buddhism means that liberate yourself from greed, hatred, and delusion. You have to ordain. So when the monk ordained in the rule and regulation, no family, no marriage, Because if you married, you have to have family, right? You have to have house, and then you have kids. You have take responsibility more and more. You not focus on the practice to walk to the end of nirvana. Okay, that's why when the monk decided to ordain, and then they leave the householder, no marriage, and then don't worry about everything around you. So if you marry, you have to share your life with your wife. When you have kids, you share your life to your kids, your wife, your kids. When your kids have grandson, you just divide your life, many pieces. It's not focused. Yeah.
What if a monk stops being a monk and gets married? If he breaks the rule, or if she breaks the rule and gets married?
No problem. In our tradition, Thai tradition, when the monk, there are two kind of ordination. Ordained just a temporary, or ordained for permanent. Even ordained in permanent, like me, I ordained when I was 14 years old. And I have right to this robe to become a lay people and get married and have a family like you, like other people. But because of I think that, okay, being a monk better than lay person, because of I can do volunteer job or do many great work than layman. So I decided later. After 20 years old, I get higher ordination. I ordained as a novice when I was 14 years old and practiced and lived with the Ajahn, with the teacher. He brought me to the forest to practice meditation in the forest, and then make my mind deep to the teaching. And I devote my life to the Buddha teaching, like this. So, but if I cannot stay longer than this, I can decide to disrobe and go back to your life, to your lay life, like that. In Thai society, they accept because of if you cannot do the good way in Buddha in the monkhood, and then you can change. If you stay in a monkhood but do you bad thing, break the rule and regulation, this bad than you disrobe go to the lay people. See? So don't stay in the Buddhism in the form of the monk, but break the rule and regulation. This is they not accept. They have to expel you from the society, like that. So because of rule and regulation in Thai tradition, there are two kind of monk. When you just want to learn, want to ordain, okay, take 7 days or 1 month, 3 months to ordain as a monk, to test yourself, to study, to practice. If you think that, it's too much for you, it's very hard and difficult, and then you decided to disrobe and go back. And then you practice as a good lay Buddhist, take 5 precepts, okay, 8 precepts. We have the certain rule and regulation for the certain group of people.
And one more question about the rebirth. You said you believe in rebirth. So when you rebirth again in a different formation, will you be able to meet other souls as your relatives or the people who you knew in this life?
No, cannot. Because of mind is go far, go away, and go alone. The mind this is a miracle of the mind. Suppose you think, okay, you think to any place right now. It's very fast, right? You close your eyes and then you think, or even you open your eyes, then you think about Washington D.C., Washington Monument. Washington Monument appear in your mind right now. But suppose this guy and you are very close friends. and then you think to the very narrow, very small thing, but your minds are not meet to each other. Because this is the meaning of the minds go alone, not go together. So it's an individual world, individual practice, you know. Even the relatives, you have many relatives in your family, your brother, your sister, but they are different from you. Even twins, your features look like the same, very similar, very, you know, the twins people, but the mind is separate. The manner, the emotion is different.
I just want to ask you, I'm not sure about your question. What you mean about your question? You mean that we believe in rebirth and the next life, shall we meet with our relative or some person? That
You
we know?
guys are very best friends, or like you
No,
you
cannot.
love your teacher, right?
Cannot meet.
Cannot meet, right?
Yeah, cannot meet. Even you want to reborn in the womb of your mother, because this life, your mother very take care you very good. No, you cannot. Because Buddha said, Kamuna Vatati Loko. Karma or action will lead your life to the destiny. Not your mother, not your father. Your father, your mother is like a house. Like a house. You live in this house. After this house is decayed, old, and then it's destroyed. But the owners still have life, and then they move to another house to have another house. Like your life. Your life, you're born in her womb, and then he take care of you until you reach 20 or after that, and then you go by yourself, right? But you still recognize her as a mother, as a father. But when we talk about the mind or citta in Pali, the mind is a separate, it's different. Okay, we own destiny and we own action. We have karma. What you do here and now. Your father and your mother didn't know what you do right now.
So another question is, when you believe in rebirth, do you at the same time believe in heaven and hell?
We have two meanings of heaven and hell. Okay. Heaven and hell in the spiritual realm means that you yourself think about dukkha and suffering. Dukkha, suffering, happiness, sukha. Only two things in our mind. Yeah. Buddha said, okay, สวรรค์ในอกนรกในใจ means that even heaven or hell are in your mind. When you face many problems in your life now, you are in heaven. When you live up your life, your mind out of problem, now you are in the heaven. That's all. Yeah. But okay, if we explain to the next life, okay, of course, in every religion, they written in the text, in the books, even in the Tripitaka, in Pali canon, the teaching of the Buddha also contain a lot of things talking about hell and heaven. Why? To teach the people to believe in do good, get good, do bad, get bad. That's for set example to them. If not, if like you teach the kid, you try to explain about, in something that you can explain is very difficult. You have to draw the picture, right? You draw the picture to show the kid this, that, something like that. So to explain about heaven and hell also, have to explain in the picture to show the people to understand how hard, how difficult, how in the heaven, how is beautiful, or how to, how to go to there, and then you study the way to go to the heaven also. And then the hell is a very difficulty, not to go to there, So explain in the text many religions they do. But in Buddhism, because of Buddhism, try to explain about body and mind, and then to compare between your present moment, what you in hell or in heaven. Okay?
I want to add what Ajahn said. There are two meanings when we talk about hell and heaven. The Buddha, he mentioned about hell and heaven after life. When we die, if we do good, we go to heaven or come back as human beings, or higher than that, like in Brahman world. There are 31 worlds in the universe according to the Buddha teaching. That is, afterlife is in the future. But another meaning is hell and heaven in our daily life. It is in our six senses. Your eye, ear, nose, tongue, bodily contact, and also your mind itself. When your eye contact with some object, if you dislike, you suffer, that is hell in daily life. But if you like and you are in heaven, you're happy, that is mean you are in heaven. It happens all the time. And the Buddha, he said that health and heaven in daily life is more important than the health and heaven after life, because it is in the future. It's not come yet. But you have to take care the present moment. And you also can do beyond that, because health and heaven is because station is not the destination of Buddhism. If you can lift up your mind to go beyond that, beyond happiness and suffering, you go beyond it. And then you understand whatever happiness or suffering is impermanent, it's changeable. It changes all the time. You cannot attach to anything because it changes. If you attach to that, then you suffer when it changes. And even suffering, you cannot deny because it's the truth. But you learn how to deal with that wisely. That is, I think that is very important.
Okay, I try to support. This is the present moment, happiness and suffering. Concerned about the present moment. Like he said, you're not happy with the politics right now. So, but we cannot escape. We cannot escape because we are Americans. We have to live here. But try to change emotion. Even if you watch TV, you just turn your face from the TV and turn it off. And then you can keep your mind not to contact with that kind of blah, 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 blah in TV. Or turn in Facebook or Live or in your smartphone, okay, get it out. And then you keep your mind, you think in positive way, as I mentioned, what you like, what you're happy with. So it is the present moment to enjoy, day by day, night by night, yeah, believe me. And then you will.
He got the answer already because he booked a ticket to go to Thailand.
Okay, so if you face the political in Thailand also, you will suffer. So I think don't think too much about the politics because they play games in politics. Okay.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I want to ask that what is the basic belief about God in Buddhism?
They're talking about also the God in heaven, God in like a belief, like a folk belief, like okay, before Buddha, of course, in the Brahmin society in Nepal, India at those times, many gods, yeah. But Buddha, he think in different way. That's why he find out the mind, look within the mind. In Buddhism, we not deny gods. You believe, okay, you believe gods, or you believe many gods, whatever. We not deny, because the individual believe, the individual they worship or they obey to the god, whatever. But if talk in Buddhism, God is God, human being is human being. We do in different duty. Okay? If we ask God to help many things in our life, some we get, some we not. I don't know, it's a coincidence or not. I don't know, but it's not success everything that you ask God to help. So that's why in Buddhism, Buddha said you have to help yourself, self-help. Because this is the educational system, not belief system. So if you believe this thing, but this belief leads you to suffer, what is the benefit from that? So why don't you use this belief and then make you happy? And then, as I mentioned, you're happy in moment to moment. You're not too happy in the past. You're not happy in the future, but you're happy here and now. Sometimes you think in the past and then make you suffer. Sometimes you think in the future, make you worry. How to live without fear and worry. This is the happiness in Buddhism. So stay in the present moment. Present moment means that you know you're breathing in and out. Now I'm lucky to have my life, to have the breath, to breathe the beautiful air like today, beautiful sunshine like today. Yeah, this is the real Buddhism teaches us like this.
Okay, another thing that you told that you said that this meditation that you do, it leads you to nirvana.
Yes.
So can you explain further like what the nirvana is? What is the thing that you want to achieve after all of this meditation and living like this?
Okay, there are two kinds of nirvana, temporary and permanent. Temporary nirvana means that extinction of greed, hatred, and delusion. Whenever your mind is free of this thing, at that moment you are in the presence of nirvana or liberation. And if you sustain this moment, means that your mind stay longer and longer. You not react whatever the politics or the people will do things in your colleague, your friend, your class, your people around you, but you just accept and let go. It's not attached to your mind, not to react in your mind. That means you are in the state of nirvana for permanent.
What is your belief about the human appearing? How did human appear into this world, and how did this world actually came into the world? Like, did it exist before? Who created it? Was there anyone?
Yeah.
Like,
We look at every human beings are equal. You are my friend. Like okay, you have birth, sickness, old age, and death. This is the law of every human being in this world, in this eon. Before Jesus Christ, before Muhammad, before Buddha, because in our history of Buddhism, many Buddha before Sakyamuni Buddha. So it depends on the condition. They have cause and condition to have human being, to have the earth, to have the stars, to have the thing like that. So depends upon the law of nature, the law of nature, law of karma, law of mind. And then something that Buddha said. We don't think about things beyond Nama and Rupa. Not think beyond our body and mind, because it make your dukkha or suffering. Like okay, scientists, they invent many things, they discover many things, but if you study in materialism, it's not end. How many scientists since the scientist age until now, they not get a good result. They have more and more develop, right?
So
Not end.
my question is basically, do you think our ancestors are the animals as well? Like, are we the family of apes? What do you think? Do you think it's the same way?
Then Pia,
Actually,
I'll answer first and then I will.
according to the text, we have Pali Canon as our holy text, our Buddhist Bible. Actually, we don't believe like that. Actually, what the Buddha taught in one sutta that we call Akanya Sutta. Actually, our ancestors come from what we call the Brahman world, or the god. They live like they can fly, something like. But I'm not too much into that sutta, because that is not the main concern in as my practice and as my study for 27 years as a monk. I don't think much about Nibbana. I don't think much about heaven or hell, or where is the beginning of the world, where is the end of the world. The Buddha, he mentioned too about that, but he didn't mention much, because it's the philosophical question. It cannot answer your life. The thing is that how is your life, and also what problem you deal, and can you deal with your own problem. The Buddha, he didn't answer much about the philosophical question, like where is the beginning of the world. There is one story about the Brahman, that he wants to travel to the end of the universe. And the Brahman, if you born in that world, you will have very long life compared to human beings. Very long, it cannot compare. He traveled by flying. He want to reach the end of the universe, but he died in the middle, because the universe is vast and is infinity. There are many people, they want to know a lot of questions like that, and some of them, they come to the Buddha and say that, oh, because I ordained as a monk and follow you as your student, I want to know this question. If you didn't answer my question, I will quit. And the Buddha said, go ahead. I didn't ask you to become my student. And also he mentioned that why I don't answer this kind of question, because it's not concerned about your life, and it cannot give you any answer, because the real thing is that your life, how to live a happy life, how to get rid of suffering. If you ask this to the Buddha, he will answer you. To me, I don't think much about this. Even I study Buddhism.
Well, having been raised Christian
Mm.
and living in a nation that is predominantly Christian, we are taught to believe where we came from
Mm.
and where we will go, right? So I don't know if you, in that regard, I think there is some importance to that question. This is a very strong cultural teaching for us.
Mm.
You are born and you will die. And if you have lived the wrong way, you will rot in hell. Yeah? Oh!
It's a clarity.
So for us it is important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I can tell you about that story in Akarya Sutta. Maybe you can find in internet. The sutta mentioned that our ancestor is from the heaven, and they can fly. It's like sci-fi movie. It's very fantasy, and they fly in the sky. And one day they come to eat the earth. This kind of earth is very, very good and very tasty and smell. And when they eat that kind of earth, their body become heavy, and they cannot fly anymore. And then they have to live. And before we have no sex, we don't know female or male, but later on when we cannot fly, the person who were men become men, and the sex appear, and then they start to have family. They start to like each other, start to have family, and then start to know. It's similar to the primitive, and then we develop more and more until we have family, a land, and then we divide land, and we have the ruler, the king, and govern the country. And it's like what they call revolution. And it's progressed more and more like that in the story. But we will live like what they call Da Vinci. Darwin, right? Darwin.
Do you know the Da Vinci?
Or Darwin.
Darwin theory.
Charles Darwin, right?
Charles Darwin.
British.
Theory of evolution.
Yes. That he believed that we come from the monkey, right? But in our Buddhist text, it's totally different. You believe that?
Well, how is that possible that we come from monkeys and right now we are so smart? It's not possible. How is that possible?
It doesn't say that you come from monkey. That's the same as common
Why are the
ancestors.
scientists?
We are
Why are the scientists
I mean, we have
looking for
tailbones.
answers that we are from monkeys?
So as I
we have a
explained,
common ancestor. We don't come
But they were saying they're our
that
ancestors.
means no, but listen, that means
Uh,
that you came from the same ancestor that we came from. Like they divulged into separate species.
Do you
So
believe
we're
that?
separate from monkeys.
I do believe.
Do you believe that too? Where's the proof?
I'm a biology professor. She's a biology student.
Yeah.
Where's
But
the
there's
exact fact and proof of that?
You
That
know, a lot
we,
of
That's
that's all. So ton of scientific journals.
like
out
they've
there.
been doing research for million years, but there's
No,
no
but when you're-
exact proof
okay.
still.
there's a
Okay.
huge amount of
Yeah,
research.
Yeah, there's
It's
Yeah.
incredible amounts.
They've been doing it for several years, but still they cannot get the right
For
answer.
centuries.
as I told you, scientists cannot get the right answer. Not yet. They have to go beyond after light. Yes, I see like that.
But then at last they will do something from their mind. They create something and say something from their own mind that's not true.
How do you
It's a true, but it's a not
Believe in human
end.
lying.
It's a true, but it's not end. Like Albert Einstein, he got clearly, and then they have developed more and more right now, more than that. But he is a start to think in that way. So study in materialism is not end. But if you go to study in spiritual, in the mind, and then you have the finish, when you get to the point like I explained about nirvana or liberation, when you reach that point, and then you accept and let go. Right now, sometimes we not accept, right? Like some proof of scientists or some proof of psychiatrists or any inventor people. So sometimes we believe, sometimes we not believe, we don't believe it. But if you study about your mind, and then your mind not react to that, and then means that neutral, you accept. Because in the end, Buddha said, even good and bad, not to attach to good and bad. Good, right now, good is good, very good. If some people do good, we praise them good. But if you attach to good too much, make your head heavy in your burden, your shoulder, because you carry the good. In the end, you have to detach. Detach. That's the emptiness. That's the voidness. That's the neutral thing. So it's very free from that kind of thing, even materialism or immaterialism. But it's very difficult to reach that point. But okay, anyway, we live in our life right now. You are student, you are professor, you are good lay, or any position, whatever you are. Please live your life with present moment and happy. What are you doing here and now? That's all.
It seems to me if I'm always seeking to be in a happy place, that sometimes I'm missing important things. I mean, there have been huge atrocities around the world forever.
Yeah.
And if I'm unhappy, so I turn off the TV and I don't know that countries are burning and people are being killed, it would be the same with my family. You know, if my family's threatened, I can't go to a happy place and let them sit there and be threatened. So sometimes you have to stand up and protect people. And so when do you protect your beliefs?
Yeah, right.
And when do you go into a happy place which maybe is hiding?
You have right to stand up and protect, and because you have responsibility with your kids, your friend, your colleagues, whatever. But I mean that you can do that, but without suffer too much because of greed, hatred, and delusion. If you do your duty with empty mind, I mean that not to attach or not to take side too much. Because take side too much is to make you suffer or frustration, right? So I mean that even you do work, you do volunteer or whatever you do, you're in your duty, you take responsibility with the mind, stable mind, or your mind not to suffer too much. That's the place to set your mind on that. Not mean to hide yourself or escape from the problem here and go too far away to the Himalayan mountain, live your life like that. No, like that. You can live in this society, in many burns house with every problem, but how to set your mind